Saint-Michel-des-Saints is a quiet, unassuming village perched on the edge of Quebec's vast boreal forest. For decades, it was known for logging, outdoor recreation, and little else. But today, the hum of heavy machinery and the chatter of geologists have replaced the quiet. This small community has suddenly found itself at the epicenter of Ottawa's new industrial strategy, sitting atop a resource that could fundamentally alter the balance of global economic power. The resource is graphite, and the company leading the charge, coincidentally named New World Graphite, hit pay dirt here more than a decade ago. Our metal detectors were beeping throughout a fairly large area, recalls one of the early prospectors. It turns out those beeps were signaling the discovery of one of the largest, high-purity graphite deposits in the Western Hemisphere. Fast forward to 2026, and that discovery has matured into a matter of national security. The Canadian government has just classified the site as nationally critical, a designation that unlocks expedited permitting, federal funding, and strategic protection. Why? Because graphite is the unsung hero of the modern economy. It is the primary anode material in lithium-ion batteries, essential for electric vehicles, EVs, defense systems, and renewable energy storage. And until now, the supply chain for this critical mineral has been dangerously concentrated in China. Canada just unlocked something buried beneath Quebec soil that could break that monopoly. The strategy involves two massive integrated projects that form a complete domestic value chain: the Matawini Mine in Saint-Michel-des-Saints and the Bécancour battery materials plant closer to the St. Lawrence River. This is not just a digging operation, it is a manufacturing revolution. The mine, located about 120 kilometers north of Montreal in the Lanaudière region, the Matawini Mine is an open-pit operation designed to extract natural graphite ore. The plant. That ore will be transported to Bécancour, where it will be processed into spherical graphite, the high-purity active anode material required for batteries. This integration is key. Most graphite mines in the world ship their raw concentrate to Asia for processing, leaving the value add and the strategic control offshore. New World Graphite, NMG, is keeping it all within Quebec borders, utilizing the province's clean, abundant hydroelectricity to power the refining process. This ensures that the final product is not only secure, but also has one of the lowest carbon footprints in the world, a major selling point for Western automakers looking to decarbonize their supply chains. The scale of the undertaking is massive, designed to redefine global battery supply chains currently dominated by Asian producers. The Matawini mine targets a production of 106,000 tons per year of graphite concentrate. To put that in perspective, that volume is sufficient to support the manufacturing of hundreds of thousands of EVs annually. The mine has a projected lifespan of 25 years, ensuring a generation of stability for North American manufacturers. With approvals in hand, construction is slated to begin in the first quarter of 2026. The mine is expected to reach full commercial production by mid-2028. The economic ripple effects are equally significant. The project is expected to draw $1.8 billion in total investment, contributing that same amount to Canada's GDP. It will create over 1,000 new careers during the construction and ramp-up phases. Once operational, it will sustain 150 permanent full-time jobs in the region, with peak construction hiring reaching up to 450 workers. This project is the test case for a new way of doing business in Ottawa. The Major Projects Office was created under the Building Canada Act, which came into force in June 2025. Launched officially on August 29, 2025, under the leadership of its first CEO, Don Farrell, this office represents a whole-of-government approach to getting big things built fast. Farrell's mandate is clear: cut the red tape without cutting corners. The office works alongside an Indigenous Advisory Council to ensure that reconciliation, partnership, and Indigenous economic participation are not afterthoughts, but are embedded in the project's DNA from day one. For New World Graphite, this support has been crucial. The Matawini mine addresses major gaps in Canada's critical minerals strategy. While Canada has vast resources of tungsten, copper, lithium, nickel, and cobalt, its domestic graphite mining has historically been limited and commercial-scale refined graphite production has been non-existent. Minister Dominic LeBlanc has championed this shift, stating that as Canada moves from reliance to resilience, projects like Matawini are essential for defense and economic security. By developing these deposits at home, Canada is strengthening long-term prosperity and securing supply chains for its NATO allies, who are desperate to reduce their exposure to geopolitical rivals. Eric Desaulniers, the founder, president, and CEO of New World Graphite, has spent the last decade navigating the rigorous process of project development. After engagement with First Nations, regulatory approvals, marketing, and financing, the company is ready to move forward, Desaulniers stated. The industry has taken notice. NMG has established a groundbreaking partnership with heavy equipment giant Caterpillar Incorporated. Together, they are developing a zero-emission fleet and infrastructure for the future mine. This means the excavators and haul trucks at Matawini won't be spewing diesel fumes. They will be electric, powered by the very minerals they are digging out of the ground. Furthermore, the commercial viability is already proven. The company has entered into commercial agreements with the potential to cover 100% of the flake graphite production from the Phase 2 Matawini Mine. Automakers and battery cell manufacturers are locking in supply years in advance, terrified of a future shortage. While Quebec leads the charge, the hunt for graphite is expanding to Canada's northern frontier. On March 3, 2025, Strategex Elements Corporation announced a massive discovery far to the north, at its Nagvak property on the Melville Peninsula in Nunavut. This discovery hints at a resource potential that could rival or even exceed southern deposits. A 32-meter drill core interval returned an average grade of 15% graphitic carbon, with a highly concentrated 17-meter section grading 22%. Peak grades reached a staggering 34.9%. Analysis revealed large crystalline graphite aggregates, greater than 500 microns. In the graphite world, flake size matters. Larger flakes generally command higher prices and are easier to process. Strategex has expanded its mineral claim to 79,781 hectares. The Melville Critical Metals Belt spans an area of 200 kilometers by 100 kilometers, suggesting this is a district-scale find, not just a single mine. On September 29, 2025, StrategyX reported the successful completion of its first diamond drill hole of the 2025 season. Drill hole NA-2501 intersected four distinct sulfide-rich mineralized graphite zones over a 42.8-meter interval. By November 5th, assay results confirmed a robust polymetallic system. This means Nagvak isn't just a graphite mine, it's a treasure chest. The drill intersection returned a 49.9-meter interval containing not just graphite, 6.90% over 34.7 meters, but also nickel, 0.26%, copper, 0.11%, vanadium pentoxide, 0.18%, and silver. The Nagvak graphite-rich corridor extends 6,000 meters along strike and is approximately 500 meters wide. Strategex has established a base camp, prioritized local Inuit employment, and partnered with an Inuit-owned company to manage logistics. With $4.5 million raised in summer financing, the company is positioning Nagvak as a potential Tier 1 critical minerals asset, a designation reserved for the world's most significant deposits. These Canadian discoveries, from the forests of Saint-Michel-des-Saints to the tundra of the Melville Peninsula, arrive at a pivotal moment in history. Western economies have belatedly recognized the urgency of securing access to critical minerals. The global supply of graphite remains highly concentrated in China, a vulnerability that has become intolerable for Western defense planners and automotive CEOs alike. By unlocking these buried assets, Canada is doing more than digging holes. It is supporting the electric vehicle revolution, attracting billions in foreign investment, creating high-paying jobs in remote communities, and reinforcing its own economic sovereignty. The message to the world is clear. The path to a green energy future runs through the Canadian Shield. And with projects like Matawini and Nagvak coming online, Canada is positioning itself not just as a supplier, but as a decisive player in the global critical minerals space.